Now, what's up? We are back today. We're gonna talk about the end of Xbox and GameStop. And guess what, y'all? The good doctor's back in the house, so you know he got a lot to say because
Making a
Xbox
house
hurt
call.
this man. Xbox hurt this man, y'all. So hey, we got a lot to talk about. But before we get to everything tonight, because it's gonna be a big night. Also, Steve is on the weather right now. He had too many girthy controllers handling in his hand and stuff, so he
Oh,
cannot. He
wow, what did
cannot
I miss?
participate. I know, right? If
Dang.
y'all were here last week, y'all will understand. But
Wow.
I want to share with you guys that next weekend, WrestleMania weekend, I will be at Midwest Gaming Classes. So if you are there, please hit your boy up. We might go do a little game hunt, take some pictures, drink a couple of Dr. Peppers or something do something. So make sure you guys tune in and hit me up because I'm gonna be on the community page. I might go live. I want to see some people. I want to take some pictures. I want to see everybody. I want to try to find some good games. So let me know if you're in the chat or if you're watching this later on to be at the Midwest Gaming Classic. Tickets are on sale right here. Look, you can buy tickets right now. Right here. Look at this. Tickets on 5th, the preview night from 6 p.m. to 12 a.m. $45. Then the first day, April 6th, show from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. That's a long show. April 7th, 10 a.m. to 5, $25. Y'all know you're going to hit up on day 6. Or get the whole multi-day passes below from 60 to 175. Tell them your boy, Mr. Right Way, sent you because you're going to have an amazing time. Midwest Gaming Classic is so fun. I went last year. I'm going to find so many games and recorded some episodes of the PlayStation Pursuit and the Xbox Pursuit. So make sure you meet me there. Beat me there. And guys, it's going to be really, really great. All right, now, this week, oh my goodness. GameStop and Xbox is tripping. It's tripping. First, GameStop. Ness had told me about this, and I had to talk about it because y'all know I love GameStop. So, Ness, man, you saw the article. I made a video on it, but I want to get your take, and I also want to get the good doctor's take on it too. But Ness, just talk about this. What happened, man?
I mean, it was inevitable. You're not making any sales. I mean, you can't when you have a bad business model where you can't retain good quality employees and you don't treat your employees well. The morale drops, the business model drops, and then in terms of how they deliver and sell video games to the clientele now, that's changed. The days of Babbages are gone. Still want to be as optimistic as possible because the way I see it is for us older gamers, if you will, the ones who like to collect physical, and we like to play emulation and all that too. But for those of us that like to collect physical, this is the crossroads right now. That their SEC filings with their 10K filings or whatever, they basically, in so many words, say their sales have declined due to digital sales. And they're basically putting that fault on Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo for that because of that shift in business. We've already seen it with Best Buy. We're seeing it with Target and Walmart as well. The reduction of physical games in the stores. So it was just a matter of time before we see that happen with GameStop. I mean, hell, we see that happen with a couple of the latest games. Helldivers 2, for instance. A lot of stores didn't even get physical copies, and if they did, they had one or two and they were gone, and it's hard for them to get them back. So this is the life that we're living now, where we're seeing more GameStops being closed. We're seeing more employees and massive layoffs happening now, where I think they listed last year's filings, they had 11 to 12,000 employees listed, and now we're somewhere in the realm of 8,000 employees, and this is globally, so they're slowly declining. So I think I put this in your video, Steve, when you were talking about this, is First, we saw the promotions that we normally don't see in the stores. The awesome sales, that's to drive the business and bring clientele back into the stores so they can drum up business and make profits. That's not working. So now we see a decline in the employee, the workforce, and then we start seeing the business, the stores that aren't performing closing. So we see more of those in our local areas closing. And then from there, I mean, hopefully we don't have that news report within a year that says, hey, they're filing for bankruptcy. But I mean, we've seen it so many times. We saw it with Bed Bath and Beyond and Toys R Us.
Bed Bath was crazy, man.
Yeah, dude.
Like, they just shut down last year. It was like it was over. I was like, whoa, but it was overpriced too.
And that's the thing too. I mean, we've talked about this. You know, if we're buying a new game and they're listing as a new game, it should be sealed, right? It shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be having a little sticker on it,
or just one loose disc, and they're selling it as new. So that's where it goes back to the business models kind of skewed. So, yeah, it's rather unfortunate. Hopefully, there's something that can turn it around. But I mean, this rolls right in for what we're talking about with Xbox, which I won't say anything right now, but it's all interconnected.
Let me say something about GameStop. Yeah. So just to kind of put some things in perspective for you guys, before GameStop, not this most recent time, but before GameStop went asymptotic, right? Like they had it was a meme stock and they were trying to kill it, and they, basically everybody like on Wall Street bets and everybody else put money in. I had a decent chunk of stock that I had bought at $9 a share.
Ooh.
Right? So when it went to, $300, $400 in that range, I was a very happy man. I took my profit and I went away. The thing is, there's a couple of deals here. Number one, we're at a really weird space in the market. And I know that we're going to talk about Microsoft here in a minute, but we're at a weird space in the market. I think digital sales are absolutely kicking everybody's butt. And we have no new hardware to speak of in 2024, except for maybe the PS5 Pro. Yeah. And, my feeling is that GameStop has traditionally always done well when there's hard to get hardware or new hardware that's coming. So right now it's kind of really, really, really dry. But coming at the end of the year, somewhere in the last quarter, we'll see the PS5 Pro. And in the first quarter, we're going to see the Super Switch or the Switch 2 or whatever you want to call it come out as well.
That Super Switch.
And so it's like one of those deals where it's like they're about to hit, at least in the short term, like within a calendar year, we will see them have a boost. So I'm thinking in Q4 of 2024 or Q1 of 2025, we're going to end up in a place where you're going to see another rise in GameStop if they don't get, sold short and people try to actively kill the company. Then they can try to do that. My feeling is that if they try to go down that path, you'll see Wall Street's Bets Part 2 off of Reddit. We're going to see people who are going to be like, no, we're not going to let you kill the company. We're going to buy up all the outstanding shares, keep driving the price off. All these people who have been, putting their puts and calls and this, that, and the other, and they're leveraging money. And then, none of us are selling. That's exactly what happened the last time. And I have a feeling there's a chance that that's going to happen again, knowing full well that there's new hardware coming. Now, in terms of the long term, right? So not in the next calendar year, but the 5-year, they're in a really bad spot. They're in a horrible spot. And something that they could do, if I was GameStop, with the connections that they have historically, I'd be like, look, if you're going to do a limited edition of anything, we get exclusivity in the continental United States. We get first dibs. We get the majority of them, not Amazon, not any place else. So you got to be actively going out there and saying, look, let us be the place where you pick up limited editions, whether it's consoles, games, controllers, swag, collectibles, any of that kind of stuff. They need to double and triple down on all the used game market. They need to go and buy up every single mom and pop shop across the United States, take all their inventory, put it back into their system, and put it back out to the stores. I 100% agree with shrinking the total number of stores. Only keep the high selling stores like in the big major metropolitan areas and maybe a couple of surrounding. But look at your metrics. If your metrics are not, really high, cut the store, cut the staff, because what's your number one cost? Labor, right? I would rather have a limited GameStop of like 500 like mega stores versus 4,000 mega, just stores of all different sizes. They're already pulling out of Ireland. They've closed up shop across the board in Ireland. There's multiple other countries that they're pulling out of. I think that they're going to focus on the U.S. market. I would do that too. I would do that too. They got a lot of freaking money right now, Oh, for sure, because they actually have cash. That's really important here.
Yeah,
the other thing is
right here. Look, GM. It said GME is not going nowhere. No debt. 1.2 billion in cash and securities.
As long as and the thing is, so the guy who Ryan Cohn is the guy who was in charge of Bed Bath & Beyond, right? Didn't he do Bed Bath & Beyond before he left? He sold all of his stocks, left, and that's when the company crashed?
I don't know.
I think it's the same guy.
I think the guy in the chat, he'll let us know. He'll let us know. He watching on Twitter. Hey, let us know where Ryan came from, man.
Yep. There you go. Diamond hands, baby. We're holding on to that GameStop.
So
I actually came back in and bought GameStop at like $12 and something cents again. I was like, no, I have a feeling we're going to see this thing bounce one more time. And I think this time, if I go up, great. If I go down, it is what it is. It's only money, right? But at the end of the day, I would go and buy limited run games. I would go buy all these companies that are getting permission to do reprints and become the company that does reprints.
Right.
I would add grading to all my used games. That way it's like people know it's like, hey, this is like a 9.8, Super Mario World. This is a 9. This is an 8 point whatever.
I don't think they need to touch that. I don't think they need to touch no graded stuff. Not GameStop.
Personally, I think grading is dumb. I don't do it. I personally don't do it.
I agree with you, Alex, for majority of that. The only thing I don't agree with the statement that you said earlier was GameStop needs to buy out all the mom and pop stores. I don't agree with that.
No, they don't.
It's because there is a significant difference in the customer service of going to your retro video game stores and GameStop. So, which is why I tend to lean towards going to those retro video game stores, because I actually build relationships with the people in there, right? I have conversations. We have a good time. Though there was a time where I could go to or not GameStop, but Babbage's, and I had that same kind of relationship. But a lot of times when you have these organizations that basically go big time, go corporate, that vision, that mentality changes. So if we're wiping out everybody else for one big box store to stay in business, I don't think that's a good logic to have.
I'm not saying that they need to maintain their current model, right? Because so if you decrease the total number of stores, what I would you'd have to have people who are genuine gamers and they know what's going on, to be able to bring those people in and actually pay them more than what your normal third key and associate gets paid, because those guys aren't paid shit. And it's being able to get them to a higher wage, make it more of a boutique experience. The way when you go buy, if you get, are big into exotic cars, I'm huge into exotic cars. If I go to Chicago Motorsports and I want to pick up a McLaren, when I go there, that guy knows everything about that car. And I have a conversation about hey, tell me about this. And it's who was the owner? Has it ever had any modifications of this? And they can go through every single detail. And I'm like, okay, if you can recreate that type of experience
for GameStop,
and
that's what I've been preaching the whole year. That's why I've been preaching this whole time. They got away from the customer experience. They hire anybody, and then people with no customer service skills. People don't know shit about video games. People don't know about old video games. It should be like an SAT for working the game. They call them SAT, them tests a long time ago, whatever. In school, you should have a certain test. Do you know how to work in Nintendo? Do you know what?
I'm going to give you a trademark. I'm going to give you a trademark idea. GameStop, this is free. If you end up using this concept, just send me some swag and maybe some more stock. They need to have in every single one of their flagship stores. They need to have a GameStop guru, and this person is the highly educated encyclopedic nerd guy or gal that is like the end all be all of like collectibles and like, knows all their stuff, and they're able to like sit down and really like, bite into the meat and potatoes of like collectible games. And it's like, hey, what do you think about this and stuff like that? And being able to foster a network of people being able to like, have their local experts, so to speak. So when you get that one Neo Geo game, it's like, hey, Elliot, what do you think about this? And it's like all of a sudden you take it to the store and they're like, oh yeah, that's legit.
So Alice,
blah, blah, blah.
So Alice, you're talking about like, so basically what you're saying is GameStop needs their own like Apple-centric Genius Bar, basically.
Yes, exactly correct.
Mm-hmm. That would be good. That would be good.
I don't see that.
What? They got the money to do it.
It's against their corporate. Like, they need to think in a completely different way than the way they're thinking now. Because if they continue down this path, like I said, they'll be okay at the end of the year and beginning of next year, and they're going to fall off a cliff after that. So they really need to, think about, how do I restructure what I have, take the best elements of what I have, and throw away all the shitty corporate mumbo jumbo that we've been doing, and turn it into a much more like intimate kind of setting in terms of games. Like, you want to be the guys and gals that when it comes to gaming, people are like, GameStop is like, they are the shit. They know exactly what's up. They give me a fair price for my games. They know how to track down games that I can't find, and they help me complete my collection. That type of thing. They should still continue to carry new stuff, but like shrink the wall space down a little bit, and then have a lot more of the retro stuff in there.
It never happened.
I agree, Rob. I agree. It'll never happen. It will never happen.
Hey man, wishful thinking is, hey, it's all about the wishful thinking, right?
Yeah, but like we're too far gone past that point. Like, if the perfect time for GameStop to make that transition was during Wall Street bets. Yes. During the pandemic, when the stock price was $400 or $500. When GameStop made money just off of their name. That was the time to reinvest in their people, their company. That was the time to do it. They should have leveraged all of that, the name of GameStop. No one was talking about GameStop before that.
No.
I mean, look at it now. No one's talking about it besides YouTubers that say, hey, it's going to close. It's going to shut down. It's over.
They've been saying that 4 years ago.
We've been saying that stuff for the last 4 or 5 years. But at some point, yeah, they've got money in the bank. That's great. But what are you doing? What are you doing with that money?
What's up, chill, dude?
Why did GameStop not go when, like, you look at kick thing, or like Twitch or anything, like
you mean like
the streaming? Why didn't they go down the path of like streaming and sponsorship? Why didn't
they try? They tried.
I mean, like,
they failed at it. I said they did fail. It's like when GameStop try to do something new, they don't put their whole. They put their toe in the water.
Not into it. They're just trying to find a way to do something in the market.
Remember when GameStop bought ThinkGeek?
Yeah.
And then they try to combine it in all these stores, and then they just close ThinkGeek, and now it's just like, I already got shirts and plushies and all this other stuff. It's like, you could have kept both of those, Remember when GameStop had like the great Power Awards and stuff? They could have kept going that, but no, it's always I understand making them as a business, but at one point you gotta don't forget about your who you servicing, because GameStop, if GameStop goes away, where are we really going to buy games? I mean, we can buy them online, but really, people going to miss going into the store and getting the games. Walmart is giving up. When Walmart is giving up on stuff,
it's game over.
It's over. If Walmart gives up,
GameStop should open up they should open up an OnlyFans account and just start showing unboxing of games on their OnlyFans.
What was it? Was it one chick? She's like, Mercedes.
Final Fantasy. I mean, look, GameStop has the potential to reinvent itself. They don't have a lot of time.
We got Kyler. He's a huge GameStop fan, so yeah. But I love GameStop.
Yeah, Ryan Cohen, Chewy, he's the same guy, right? Like, he was the same dude that was
And I know he's a huge GameStop guy. He follows him on Twitter and stuff. And I understand, but I have to put my fandom aside, because you gotta look at the reality of this stuff. If GameStop does go away,
It's a
Where we
wrap.
going to go?
If
I don't
was
want it to go
GameStop-
away. I don't want it to go away, but just
You remember when you used to could buy PlayStation games, like the digital codes from GameStop and like other places, and then Sony was like, nah, we're not doing this anymore, right? If GameStop made a deal with all of them, say that you could buy these digital cards in store, right? I think that would help float them for another period of time as well.
I mean,
like,
they gonna float
be
anyway.
the exclusive.
They don't got they're trying to restructure, but they're trying to restructure. But I don't think they're listening to gamers. I think they're trying to we know what you want, and we telling you what we want, and you're not listening. We don't want you putting stickers on the last game and saying it's brand new. No, it's used. We want it's a lot of things. It's a lot of things that they're not listening to.
Something else that I would do if I was GameStop, I would go and sit down with all of the major publishers and say, look, let us be the digital marketplace for used games, and let us, basically somebody could put in their account the game they have, they can put it up for trade, somebody else can then trade it, and then there's a pay differential like $10
They
or
tried
whatever.
that too. They gave up on that idea. They was trying for that for a little while.
They really need to come back to that one, because I think that if you had a used digital market, that would absolutely be awesome. The thing is that, Microsoft could do that if they wanted to. Sony could do that if they wanted to. Nintendo could do that if they wanted to. They choose not to. And why would they give the keys to the kingdom to a company like GameStop unless it's profitable for them as well? So, I mean, I think that if you had a $10 transaction fee for every digital game you wanted to swap or something like that, or you could put a no on certain games for a certain period of time, I mean, that would fix that problem. And it's just literally you're doing the transaction fees and using that to help bankroll something else.
Well, Alice, you said that right. You said something that was pretty that sparked my interest. Was saying when and I almost kind of forgot it, but what GameStop was. Say that again, because I had just thought it now. I looked at this thing and I just totally forgot it. But I remember what you were saying about that. Say that one time. I'm sorry.
Where the used digital marketplace?
Yeah. Okay. The used digital marketplace. Yeah. Right. So, like I said, GameStop could be that Steam type of store online, but I don't think they'll put the effort there. With used games right now, right? They'll bring used games in, and then they'll try for certain stores, and then they can't even get that right. So down here in Texas, y'all, GameStop has so many places to buy retro games or games and stuff, but
they're headquartered down here too.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, but that's headquarters, right? Yeah.
But trying to buy retro games here, it's a
why
hit or
not
miss.
make a GameStop restaurant like Twin Peaks or Hooters, right? And it's you're serving beer, chicken wings, and used games. Do some kind of
the games while you're eating there. There's video game themed restaurants where you can play games. I mean, sell swag.
I mean, okay.
I'm just spitballing here, but
no, I'm just saying. It might be funny when he just said that, but I mean, people will pay for that though. Gamers they pay for OnlyFans. They'll pay for that.
You don't have to be a Twin Peaks or a Hooter style. I mean, it don't have to be all that. But
nah, you got to have alcohol and stripper poles. Otherwise, it doesn't count.
What?
Yeah, what they could? Hey, they could try adult type of GameStop gameplays. Go buy some stuff right here. Then have it could. I mean, that's just a wild concept, but I mean, I wouldn't put it past this.
What about going into GameStop dispensaries, right? You can buy your Kush and your game at the same time.
That's only in Vegas and Denver, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, Texas ain't allowed that.
You put a medical marijuana dispensary in there, be like, you got your wink, prescription card? Yeah. And there's a doctor in the back.
And not allow no weed and games at the same time.
That's a small
Girl Scout cookies up in there. Man, you're set.
I know, Rob. It's going off the wheels already. We only 24 minutes in, and we already.
I'm just frustrated. Right? Because I think that GameStop fundamentally is in a good place financially. If they don't do something and course correct, they're going to be in a really bad spot within it. Like I said, it's going to be a little bit longer in the calendar year because, like I said, Q4 of 2024, Q1 2025, and then after that, what? Right now. this actually kind of starts going into that direction of, well, where is Microsoft in all this, and how is it related? So
let's stay at Microsoft real quick. Let's continue the conversation with GameStop. What are you about to say next?
No, it was going to lead in because there was a point where we talked about Steam and how GameStop can utilize something like that, but that falls into the category of Microsoft based off of the article I read earlier. But we'll wait. We'll wait.
So we're getting ready to go and talk about Xbox, but while we're talking about Xbox, something crazy has happened over the weekend, guys, and a lot of y'all probably saw it. But if you have not seen what happened with Xbox this week, we talk about digital, and oh my god, man, here we go. Leaked images of Microsoft's white discless Xbox Series X console, guys. Right here, you see the screen. Console. If you're listening on any podcast platform, just typing in Xbox Series X white, and you will see this. Okay. One thing, the color is pretty cool because you don't have.
I mean, it doesn't look bad.
Yes, it looks cool. But why the hell? Why the hell we need this? Why we need this?
Man, I'm pissed. I'm pissed because I literally sat here on this podcast. Maybe four episodes ago, and said, literally talked to somebody from Microsoft, a rep from Microsoft. With the Xbox division, yeah, we're probably not going to do a digital. I'm like, man, you sure you don't have to bullshit me?
You don't have to bullshit me.
You don't have to. Like,
hold on.
Okay.
Let you know that was the first shit.
Oh my god!
The next night, their boy has been drinking, y'all, so he has dropped one shit. So he's serious.
Goodness.
He's serious.
No, I said it a little bit earlier too. So
well, I mean, because here's the thing. I was like, look, you don't have to lie. Like, if you don't want to tell me, just say like, hey, I can't share that information with you. Cool. But don't just boldface tell me like, oh no, we're not going to drop a console. And then a couple weeks later, we have rumors of this digital Series X that drops. And now I'm reading articles where they're talking about Microsoft embedding Steam into a digital console. So now Steam players can utilize the Microsoft hardware to leverage Steam in the games that they have.
They're going to have portable PCs, right? See, so this is fundamentally where Microsoft is losing its Xbox identity, because the whole entire point, so Xbox is short for Direct Xbox, right? Which is basically, the APIs and everything they use for how the hardware communicates with the software to be able to play games, et cetera, et cetera. They use it in Windows and Windows-based PCs, and all the PC gaming is based off this.
They don't want no disc. They want if you buy a Series X.
No, listen, but the whole entire purpose of having the Xbox was to be able to take a PC-style gaming experience and make it simplified, right? So you didn't have to worry about drivers constantly. You didn't have to worry about, do I have enough RAM? Is my CPU fast enough? Do I have enough this? Do I have enough that? Because I love doing that stuff. I'm a PC nerd. I don't have a problem tearing apart a computer and putting it back together again. But the average person doesn't want to do that. They want to be able to use it like a Blu-ray player, DVD player, whatever. Just pop the game in, play it. That's it. They don't want to have to worry and think about it. They just want to have the experience. Yep. And it's like Microsoft, God, man, let's go back to the Xbox One. What the hell? They were like, we're going to turn it into TV because everybody likes TV. And I'm like, no, nobody likes TV. Everybody wants to play video games. That's why we're playing the Xbox. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's why we have PlayStations. That's why we have Nintendos. It's like, if we want to just watch TV, we get a TiVo or whatever the hell. Like, that concept obviously died on the vine. They realized that they were wrong. They then promised us, hey, we made a mistake and we are going to focus on gamers, and gamers are going to be. So for 8 years, 9 years, 10 years, whatever, of Xbox One, we got shit. Then we come over to the Xbox Series X and S and KLMNOP and whatever else. And I'm like, bro, it's like, do we really need to have two different SKUs right out the gate that make no sense, right? And I understand that they were bidding a lot of chips and all this other stuff. And so
Alex, would you buy this? Honestly, are you going to buy this? You buy everything. You
Oh, I
know
buy
what people don't like. People don't know. Alex does buy not everything, but mostly everything. So
No, he
seriously,
No, I
you
buy
buying this?
Yeah, I mean, I'll buy it just for the collectability. Absolutely. You know, I mean,
What?
you know, my
No.
like, I've got
Alex, I buy for the capability. You gonna buy? Okay.
no, but I mean, it's like I've got two of the Halo themed Xbox Series X's.
Well,
I've
just
got
let everybody know Alex is buying this when this comes out, y'all. Alex is buying it for collectability. But no, honestly, Alex does
I
buy
mean, it'll
every
never
system.
come out of the box. It'll literally just sit there.
No, we know,
but it'll
we
be
know.
a unit sale.
We know.
It'll be a unit sale.
You're talking so much shit, and like
No, but
it.
here's the deal though, like, because I'm not the average consumer,
No,
right?
you're not.
Like I am a statistical outlier. The average consumer is going to look at that. So we have the Xbox Series S white console with 512 gigs of memory. We have the Xbox Series S black console with a 1 terabyte of memory.
This should
That's
have
at $349, right? $349. We have the Xbox Series X that has 1 terabyte plus it's got the disk drive, and that's $499. So what price point is this going to come in? It's going to come in at $399.
That is going to be $399.
You think
$399? So if this thing comes in at $399, why even bother have Xbox Series S consoles at that point? Because you're only $50 away.
They're going to take away the S. The S will go away.
Yes,
there will be no need for it.
But see, here's the problem.
Hold on, Doc. Look, because me and Ness can tell you, we here in Dallas, how many Series S's have you seen in pawn shop, dude? Like you go to pawn shop, they line the walls.
I mean, you could paint a whole back wall with S's at a pawn shop.
Yeah, oh my goodness, they are all in the pawn shop. They're like what, $150?
Why else would Microsoft, if the rumors are true, why else would they come out with the Series X digital?
Their largest install base of quote unquote next gen Xbox consoles is the Xbox Series S. They've sold 2-to-1 Xbox Series S's to Xbox Series X's.
What's the point of this? Yeah, I'm buying it.
Yeah,
Alex,
I'm
like,
atypical, man. There's an asterisk. There's an asterisk. It's like, yeah, of course I'm buying anything, but I'm
I have a little bit more sense than that. Yeah, I remember running my feet on Eddie Murphy's couch.
No, but I'll be honest though, I probably will not buy it day one. It's going to be a while before I pick it up, but it's like one of those that'll eventually end up in the collection. I mean, you know how many 360s I've got, like brand new, unopened, sealed, like collector's editions. It's stupid.
Do you got the Simpsons Xbox?
No.
Okay, I thought you had the Simpsons one. No, you got one.
No.
You got the Halo.
No, are you talking? Yeah, no, I don't have that, and I
got all
don't
the
have
360s except the Simpson ones, right?
I've got. I'd have to go back and look. I've got like the Resident Evils and like the red console. Man, that was
Halo.
Sick. That
Halo one. I mean, Halo. I'm sorry.
Halo. Yeah, Halo. The Call of Duty Xboxes, the Star Wars 360 one that had like the C-3PO like in the R2D2 controller, like that whole entire thing.
Are we talking about
360 Switch? Well,
yeah,
360 all the way through.
Yeah.
I've got, like I said, I've been collecting for a hot minute, so I got a little bit of everything. But
if you can see right here, I have the Halo Reach one right here.
Yep.
That was like a nice, simple, like it wasn't ugly, but it wasn't nice. It was just like, okay, it was there, It was like
that was my favorite 360. Was the Halo one? Yeah.
You like that was your favorite one?
That's my favorite one.
The Gears 360 was my absolute favorite.
The Gears 360 is so cool.
Damn.
I might be biased just because I played so much Halo back then. So
I get it. Y'all drop in the country. What's your favorite console, everybody? Drop in the comment section below.
What, Xbox console or just console in general?
No, 360 console.
Like
console.
Collector's console.
Your collector's console. What's your favorite collector's console? Drop it in the comments. We'll put it up on the screen. But man, let's before we get more to Xbox, like the 360 generation, that 7th generation, I love it so much. That's like one of my favorite generations, guys.
Yeah,
because
you know what the difference was?
Generation was so but 360 generation was so unmatched, right? Like everything was on a 360. Then that's when we introduced to digital stuff. They called us all the way back then, but we didn't know it was gonna where it was gonna go like now. but it was just so good. What you about to say?
Yeah, but you remember who was in charge of Xbox when the 360 hit? And that was Peter Moore. And
Yeah,
Peter Moore was a
Peter Moore
pit
did.
bull. And that guy is what put Xbox on the map, like when it was like going toe to toe with the PlayStation 3. And when he left, a cold shiver went down my spine. I said, something bad's gonna happen when this dude walked out, because he was the reason why the 360 generation was like super tight. And then all of a sudden, Xbox One and that Chadwick looking MF, or what's his name? Who's over at Zynga now? The guy, Matrick.
Oh,
What's his name?
I don't know. What you about to say next? What do you think about it?
Speaking of people leaving, it was Jim Ryan's last day at Sony.
Yep.
Oh,
Dude already came. He went and buried Microsoft and left. He's like, peace out. Dun, 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 dun. I mean, he just walked out into his retirement like, hell yeah, I did what I came to do.
And they gave him that nice ass PlayStation too.
I won't, man.
Do you know that PlayStation 5 that look like a PS1?
Yeah,
They gave him that
I want
custom
one.
one.
Yeah.
I said, he ain't gonna play that. He gonna be like, somebody said,
Don
Don
Matrick.
Matrick.
Don Matrick, that's what I was trying to say. Yeah. So it's like that guy came in and basically just like shat all over everything. And I mean, he's the guy he's the Jimmy Carter of Microsoft.
Shout out to everybody on X who's watching. We got 109 people watching on X. We got like 80 on YouTube. Y'all, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Wherever you're watching it, thank you. We appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying. Make sure you like just get in the chat and have fun. No, Steve is not here with his meaty sticks this week. He's out. He's sick. He can't talk, so he had too much meat in his mouth or something.
Oh no, don't do that.
No
don't do
Diddy,
that.
man. No Diddy.
Yeah.
They don't talk about Diddy on here. I'm trying to like what I'm be like this with Diddy. I'm be close like this.
No, stop. All right, let's keep on keeping on.
For real.
No, but shout out to the Twitter fam and to the YouTube fam that are out on here listening to us.
X and Twitter and YouTube. That's dope. Man, X is killing y'all. What are my YouTube people at? We got so many people.
This is what happens when I bring all my X peeps.
I see. You bring all your people. Yeah, that's what your most thing is. You be on X, man. Every other second you be on posted. So
Yeah,
I
got a lot of tweets, and I tweet about a lot of stuff, and a lot of it's not gaming. So just be forewarned. Some of it is, some of it isn't. No, but I don't know. I mean, so just going back to Microsoft really quick. So where are we right now, right? Like, there's all these rumors about a handheld. Apparently, so Jason Ronald, right? The lead architect
we
of the
talking
hardware.
about like the new thing. They
pulled him back, and now the Surface team is working on Xbox. Whether that means it's a Xbox handheld or hybrid console or whatever you want to call it.
Hey,
I mean,
Surface team is pretty dope now. The Surface team is good. I had a Microsoft Surface. I liked it. It was good.
I'm surprised that this picture shows a Steam Deck. With,
I know, right? This
like
right
they could have put anything, but they used a Steam Deck. Interesting.
Well, that's just whoever did the graphics for the whatever. Oh, by the way, Mudslinger, yes. If you look, I have my @ on my thing, so that's where I am on Twitter. But yeah, it's like. So looking at the ROG Ally and looking at the Omen, all the Omen Go, like all that stuff that they've got, all these different little handheld PCs. I mean, I use them. I like them. They fill a gap for me because they're more powerful than my Switch, and they allow me to play a lot of the a lot of my Steam library I can play, certain games I can play, on the road or whatever. And I like that. And I think that there is, when you get to the second and third generations of those handheld PCs, I mean, we're going to really be like in a good spot, like horsepower wise in terms of these games. So I don't know, man. I mean, I'm all for it. If Microsoft wants to do it, I'll buy one of those too.
They really don't need. I mean, I have buddies at work. They literally play all their Xbox games on their Steam Deck. Literally.
Why not just go ahead and make Xbox branded PCs at this point?
You know what? I mean, why not? I mean, at this point, they might as well. Like, if they decided to branch over and just make an Xbox PC. I mean, you can still keep the name if you really wanted to do that and just center it around gaming. A gaming PC. There you go. Xbox PC.
Who would buy one of these? Who about the next generation? Who about the next generation of Series X? Who about it?
What do you mean the next?
But see, that's the thing. Do they even need to at that point? I'm just saying, if they go down that path, I mean, you put Office on there, right, and let college kids have it for $500. I mean, they'll be able to write their papers and do whatever they need to do on it. You know what I'm saying? It's like all of a sudden, it's like they don't have to lug around a PC to their room or a laptop or whatever. They can just take one of these, and if it's a portable, dockable thing, you put the system into its dock. It's a full PC. You pull it out of its dock, take it to class. You can tap notes on it. You can play games on it. You can make phone calls on it. Whatever you want to do. I mean, mobile ultimately is the future, right? Like, that's the entire industry is moving towards mobile.
Dock Switch or Nintendo came with, that was probably the best thing they could have ever done for the video game industry. That was the best
big time. Well, I mean,
the Switch was amazing.
Switch, like, not since the Super Nintendo have we had a console like the Switch. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody in terms of just like when that transition, that generational jump from the NES to the SNES. I mean, holy God! Like, we were in to have been a young person during that time and to have grown up with that experience was absolutely magical. Would not trade it for anything.
Dude, when I first saw Super Mario World in the magazine, when I saw Super Mario World in Game Pro, I was like, what the hell is this? I was like, I couldn't like process what I was seeing. Like, even now, it takes me back. I couldn't process like everything, like the color. And when I saw they had Mario flying, I was like, wait, hold on.
Yep.
He flying with a cape? I was like, what? And then all these different worlds and stuff. I was like, Super Mario World, it has to be in the top 5 of greatest games of all time. It has to be.
Oh, I agree.
It has to be.
I agree. I remember being in front of Electronics Boutique Christmas break when Super Mario World was out, and they had a kiosk with the controller and stuff. Yeah. And I knew how to like fast travel through everything to be able to get to Bowser. And so I'm sitting there and I'm fighting Bowser, and I turn around and there's like this entire crowd of people just sitting there watching me play, and I'm like, this is awesome. And it was the first time ever that, like, outside of the arcade, that I had that experience, because up until that point, arcades absolutely demolished any kind of home console, the NES or the Master System, Commodore 64, any of that kind of stuff. But then when the Super Nintendo came out, all of a sudden it was like, wow, we're starting to get, like when Street Fighter hit, all of a sudden the only place for the longest time you could play it was on the SNES before it jumped over and was also on the Genesis.
Oh, and then when we get the code to play like Rio versus Rio, mirror match. Yep.
All that. No, it was awesome. What was interesting was that the Champion Edition was the first.
Hold on, let's jump in real quick. What are you saying?
Let me answer this question in the chat. I saw That's Real was asking about my graded games. So, both Star Wars Knights of the Old Republics, the first one and second one, Jade Empire Limited Edition, Samurai Showdown 5, Akai Katana, and then Babylon's Fall, and then Diablo 5. That's it.
All right, cool.
Yeah, that's it. Just thought I'd share
that.
Diablo
5?
Yeah.
Diablo 5?
I'm sorry, Diablo 4. I'm sorry, my bad.
I was like sitting there, I'm like, hold up. You from the future?
I've been drinking Diablo 4.
You got it, graded it, like, oh yeah, it's sitting back here.
Yeah, you can't know
right now. You can't play it.
No. That's why I wanted to get it clarified. I wanted to make sure, truth in advertising and all that.
But yeah, man, hey, that Super Nintendo generation was amazing too, because it was just like banger after banger. I was like,
Nintendo introduced me to my first Neo Geo games.
Yep.
My very first ones, Samurai Showdown and Fatal Fury. Those were my very first Neo Geo based games I ever played, and it was on the Super Nintendo because Mom and Pops wasn't gonna buy it. Neo Geo's like, you better get this damn shit on the Super Nintendo that we bought you.
There you go. What though? Samurai Showdown. The best version I played during that time period was on the 3DO.
Oh, did you? Was it 3DO? Yes. Yeah, mine. Yep. So for me, I didn't play 3DO. So back then it was Sega Genesis. The Sega Genesis version was really good.
Man, 3DO was promising. It was like so expensive, but then it just it was like this, and it just like fell quick.
Yep.
I was like, wow.
I'm still biting myself because I had the opportunity to buy a 3DO with Samurai Showdown, like the original like package system, and I passed on it.
How much is it?
Oh, I mean, it was something stupid, like $250. It was like super cheap.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Everybody in the chat, Fatal Fury, Art of Fighting, World Heroes, played all of those on the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis.
You know what? And I didn't. And speaking of this too, Art of Fighting, I was talking about with Ness. I really didn't get Art of Fighting until I actually started getting for Neo Geo stuff, and like Art of Fighting was like, oh, this story is pretty darn deep.
The story is dope, man.
Oh, excellent.
The story is dope. It's like you really feel
but it's like it was very adult too, right? Like it was, because we had the Japanese versions of those games in the United States, and it's like I can't remember the character name, but it's the woman who like you can't tell that she's a woman because she's like wearing like that white like button-down shirt and the vest and like the slacks.
You're talking about King.
Yeah, and it's like she's like, if you beat her, her like shirt pops open, and it was just like this whole entire thing, and I was just like, oh my god, like this is like. Because you remember, this is the same time period where Super Nintendo was like censoring blood out of their games, and like Final Fight, and all these games, they were like censored, and this was like a completely uncensored Japanese game because the Japanese have, they're what they consider is okay and not okay is different than what we consider okay and not okay, right? And so during that time period, I mean, it was radical. Like you had to be 18 and above to get to that arcade, unless you knew the one arcade guy that was like, I don't care as long as you guys are spending your money. I don't care what you see and while you're playing, that type of thing.
Genesis. Oh, remember that whole trial, that Mortal Kombat trial, and we was us three. We were there when they started putting ratings on freaking video games.
We were the generation.
The games I got today, like, look.
Yep, 100%.
13. Like, what is the M8? They don't put M8 13 no more on games like this.
I didn't see that when you sent me the picture. You found that Shadowrun today?
Oh yeah, Shadowrun 2, $5.
The manual?
Yeah, it's complete. Look,
it's complete.
I hate you.
So y'all offline about his haul, and it's absolutely amazing.
Oh yeah, today I went to Goodwill, right, y'all, and I found all these Genesis games. It's gonna be it's more, but it's gonna be in a video next week I'm working on. But yeah, I walked in, and it was all these Genesis games and all these PS2 games. And I was like, I froze. I was like, oh shit.
Oh, and they're all pristine, right? Like this is like some dude who was an adult when they were bought.
These were $10, but this game right here is like $190.
Homeboy died of like tuberculosis or something, and then they were throwing away his stuff, and somebody said, "Just give it to Goodwill." Like that's the level. Dude, they still have the.
I might start collecting posters now.
He sent us the text today. Mind you, I'm moving, right? So I'm, packing stuff up and getting stuff to storage and all this stuff. Gonna make me drop my third S in here, and I'm like. Bro, where did you get this? He's like, oh, Goodwill. Well, no shit.
There you go at third.
When he live in the same area, the surrounding area, which Goodwill did you go to? Oh, the one by the house. Okay, cool. As long as it wasn't on my side of town, that's all I care about. If it was on my side of town, oh my goodness.
I'll be over there too. Now I don't have to pay for gas. I just pull it up and go. Oh, hell,
You have a Genesis still, don't you?
I got a Analog Genesis.
Okay.
Yeah, so I got a Genesis. Yeah, I got an Analog.
You know what I've noticed though? Yeah. Anytime Neo is busy with something, Steve finds like something insane.
Bruh, every single time.
Like, didn't you find like what was it, Earthbound or like Mother 3 or some? You had some. Yeah, it was Earthbound. Like just randomly walking, it's like, there's an Earthbound over here for $3. I'll buy that.
When he goes to Midwest Gaming. That's when I'm going game hunting. That's when I know.
He gonna find some.
Every time he goes out of town, that's when I find some good stuff.
Yeah, but you know what the difference is? Steve buys it at $5 and $10. You're buying it at not $5 and $10.
Wait, time out.
No, he finds it for cheap too.
I'm talking about finding them at a Goodwill. Like my best Goodwill finds generally are when he's out of town.
So basically, there can only be one of you in place. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
And then also too, look, these pretty good these PS2 games right here, like look, Hulk and like Driver 3 and Spawn. I was like, hold on, yeah, Spawn's right here. I'm sorry, yeah, Spawn. Like, Like what? And all thing I need to do is like change the covers out. They dirty as hell, but yeah, it was a good.
Box or just the cover?
I was recording a video for a video in a
Slipcase.
couple weeks, right? And the first, I went to like 6 places, and boom, do it, and bam. I like it. It be like that though. Nessa tell you like it'd be like that. It'd be dry for like weeks, or you'll go like 5 or 6 stores, nothing.
Nada.
Bam, you'll find a whole bunch of stuff like
that's probably your best one that you've had. Well, that's your best one this year, right?
This is my best one this year. Yeah, that's my best one this year.
That's probably your best one since the Earthbound, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been my best one since Earthbound. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was nervous too. I was like, I gotta record, but I had to set that down and put stuff over there. And the woman like, oh, you found Genesis? I said, yeah, I'm getting them off.
I would have done the same exact thing. I'm like,
that's where you got the cart and you load up the cart and everybody's like, what you doing? It's like, nothing. Just check it out.
But yes, like, oh, you resell those? I said, no, ma'am. These go in my collection. And she started laughing. Oh, you like video games? Like, yes, ma'am. I love video games. I just put them in my collection. I said I might trade them. I don't really sell.
They gonna go.
You know, I hate selling. I hate selling games. I rather trade. Huh?
You gonna trade those games?
Probably something. Maybe. Well, I still got what? The Vita games. So I mean, haven't traded them yet.
But you like Vita stuff. You're more partial to PlayStation stuff, so you're gonna keep that.
Yeah, I might trade these, but I might trade these. I might, get the urge of like, do I want some? Because all that whole lot, I paid $68, and it ended up being like a $600 lot. So yeah,
yeah. I mean,
that's amazing.
Yep. And the thing is, if you're trading, a lot of times you'll be able to get a better game on a trade than you can just for the sale price. So
I do. I really hate. I'm like going through all that. Like, say I sell on eBay, and then just what if they send it back on? I don't like all that stuff. I don't. I rather trade it. Like if I'm going to, I might say this stuff when we go to the ComoCon in Colombia.
Ooh, yeah, that would be good.
Yeah, I might. I don't know yet.
You gonna do some giveaways?
You will do. Oh yeah, I'm bringing some games to giveaway. I definitely gonna bring some games to giveaway. I got the stuff that you got over here. The games. We're gonna give and I got some shirts too. Like I'm gonna give away one, not this Elden Ring shirt, but I got some more shirts like this. I'm gonna give away.
Where you get that from?
Dracula Bite on Twitter. I got a shirt for you too. So I'll show you after the show. I got a shirt for you.
Sure.
I got a shirt for you.
That's what's up. I like that.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
So let me pull it back over to just the future of gaming again, right? Like with Microsoft.
About Xbox.
So, if you look at a lot of the stuff that they've had at like their previous cons, any of the like trade shows and stuff like that, they'd have like big Xbox branding. Now it's kind of morphed over into Microsoft. Okay. They don't really mention Xbox the way that everything was green and black and white, and they had like the lights and stuff. Now it's the the Windows logo and stuff like that. So I don't know. I think that this is kind of like them trying to prepare us for the eventual transition out. They say that they're going to make hardware, but I don't know what that means. And you look at Sarah Bond, right? Like she made those really cryptic comments about like how it's going to be like this insane leap in technology and stuff like that. And I'm kind of like, okay, hold up a second. I thought that's what the Xbox Series X was supposed to be. I thought that we were supposed to have this massive library of just constantly churning out games, one after the other, AAA title, AA, AAA, AA, just constant. And they haven't really delivered on that. Like almost all of the big titles are in the second half of the year starting from June. So I'm just kind of like, where... Like, I've always been an Xbox fan, but at this point, I'm like, y'all are just dragging ass. And then how many games have we seen recently? It's like, we're going to release the PC and PlayStation version first, and then maybe we'll release the Xbox version. Because guess what? They're not selling any games on the Xbox. Everybody is using Game Pass, and they're not making any kind of revenue. They're not, it's like the subscription model is trash. I understand it's convenient. I understand that it saves a lot of people money, and I think that, for those reasons, certain demographic, it's going to work, right? But at the same time, it's not sustainable. Look at Spotify. How much? What's their profit?
They lost Joe Rogan. Spotify lost Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan is back on Apple Podcasts.
Wow!
Because guess
you
what?
Didn't know that?
Money talks.
Yeah,
money talks. And so homie left.
Hey,
hell, I just canceled my Spotify.
It was a switch like this. Like the next day, All Joe Rogan stuff was all on Apple Podcasts. I'm the one with the Rock. Oh, one with Cat Williams. It was on. All of it was on Apple Podcasts. I was like, whoa, what happened with Spotify? Something happened between him and Spotify because they had him for so long. And I guess
Probably
he wasn't making the money I thought he was making.
Yeah, I'll bet you it's the amount of money because he can demand whatever he wants. But it's funny because it's like I had Spotify and Apple because I had like you know the Apple thing where it's like it gives you the music and the games and the storage and all that stuff, like the big package. I had that, so I was like, why am I paying for both these? I just canceled my Spotify, and it's like as soon as I did that, it's like Joe Rogan popped over there.
You got more money to cancel stuff like that. That's crazy, right? Like the game you talk about Game Pass, right? Game Pass is freaking convenient. I love Game Pass.
It is convenient.
But it's almost kind of like having so many games on the wall, right? We're never going to get through all those games, right?
No.
But if they take something from us, we can like, I might, and yes,
yeah, but look at your backlog, Steve. How many games do you have in your backlog? How many games do you both have in your backlogs?
Oh my God.
200-300.
Yeah, more than that. I mean, I've got 1,200 to 1,500 on my Xbox alone. That's not including PlayStation.
Okay.
Oh, dude. Yeah,
that's not good Xbox. PC, bro. It's like you go to the Steam sale and you'll buy like 10 games for like $30, and then you won't ever play them. Like you literally just bought the license and you're never even going to touch them because your backlog. Like if I sat down and tried to play my entire backlog, I wouldn't need to buy a new game until I was probably 90 years old.
But I think that's the thing is, man, the convenience of having that, and that goes to like the thing with back to GameStop is like how digital stuff is. It's so easy to just hit that download button and have it, but the fear in the back is starting to wake people up now. People are starting to wake up to it. Like they can pull that shit anytime they want. The game, boom, like Turtles, boom, they can pull it. Or Spider-Man, they pull it. They pull those games, and you won't have them no more. That's why, like the games now that are so expensive, like like the Godzillas or like the Transformers on PS4, those any game that gets pulled from digital download, like we saw with the Ops, how they shot up in price. Now the new norm was like $30 when that game was like a $5 game for like years. Once a publisher pulls a game and it has a physical copy, it's guaranteed that physical copy is going to double, not even triple, after people are learning about that. And our fear is that I embrace digital, but don't take something away that I buy. Don't take away that stuff. Like I'm buying a game, giving you all money, and then you take it away 10 years old. And I still want it. Make it all like offline mode. Like the crew don't have really a good offline mode yet. I just don't like it. I don't like this.
That's kind of why I know a lot of folks out there. We're getting to that point where a lot of people are like, I don't need to have all these games. I don't need to have all that. It takes up too much space, which is completely understandable. I get it. But to that very point, we are going to be held hostage by these companies. There's going to be a game that we have in our collection that we just absolutely love that they're going to snatch off the database, and then we can't go in through our library, our digital library, and play it.
Yeah, that's what piracy's for.
Well,
no, he's right.
No,
he's
I'm
right.
telling you, it's like
right.
if
we have emulation for that very reason, right?
Yeah, you're never going to get rid of piracy because of that very reason.
Yes,
I know there's a lot of people who do nefarious things, but at the same time, it's like I'm a firm believer in game preservation. I think that every title should be, cataloged and, a backup stored someplace that's like, hey, this is the, original, like whatever. And it's because it's important. Like these are works of art. This is not just a consumer product for shits and giggles. I mean, like hey, Alex, is a work of art.
Alex, can you see the comments?
No, what?
Okay, Ray says if he ever wins one of y'all contests, he said send me a picture of Alex's face instead of a game.
Yeah.
Y'all.
No, they just need to. I just need to open up an OnlyFans, and then we can.
Hey, y'all. What do y'all think about this? Alex is still thinking about opening up a YouTube, right? So Alex has this intense collection, right? but he's not gonna show his face. So what we said, he just opened a piece of his or show y'all a piece of everything from his game room or collection. Like just he get a box like something, he don't even know he forgot to have it, and just open it up and see that. Would y'all like something like that? Because he's not gonna show his face. Would y'all like that? Let me know in the chat because he's trying to figure out what he want to do for his YouTube channel. While he's between operations,
you know
and
what
stuff
it
like
is,
that.
right? Like you ever see those guys? Like I'm a huge car guy, right? So it's like you ever see the guys that are like, "Hey, look at my collection," and all of a sudden they open up the garage and there's like 150 cars and they're all like exotics and shit like that. I'm like that with games, so and consoles and collectibles. So I have a lot of that kind of stuff that I could definitely knock some socks off for sure.
Hey, I'm gonna be like that with cars when I start doing when y'all take me to YouTube and stuff. And thank God all y'all helping out on YouTube and Twitter and all that stuff.
Oh, 100%, Steve. That's why we're here. We want. See, like that's the thing. We want everybody to be successful. We want to work together. Make sure.
I'll just try to make me successful. I'm gonna say like it'll be like me, Ness, Steve, Alex. Alex already great successful. He adopted y'all. So, yeah.
Hey man, we could all be more successful.
Yeah. Hey, Alex. This is Alex off time when he's not on the surgery or something, y'all. We called him. We called you yesterday or was it today? It was yesterday or today when you was in the middle of a conversation.
What was it? It was yesterday. It was yesterday.
Yeah, it was yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday. Because I had that interview with Sean Kenner and Think Media and stuff. But yeah, we called him. He was just sitting in the office and he was looking like, "Oh, I got a little rest. I gotta go next day."
Let me talk about that real quick, bro. Because Steve was on with Think Media yesterday on a live. They had like 7, 8. I think at one point they had like 1,000 people on, and they were asking Steve on content creation, what he does in his channel, all this. And they had another content creator on there too, and she was awesome too. But I learned so much just from that video. I thought it was really dope. They thought he had this energy. They're like, man, he's just so energetic. I'm like, this is who this guy is. He's like this all the time. He'll call you at midnight and he's got that same energy. I'm like, bro, I'm asleep. What you calling me for? That's the same energy.
I don't have the energy
off camera. He's the exact same dude. Same dude. Like that's why we homies, man. Because you just real.
I'll be honest. There's a chemistry like between all of us, and it's funny because a lot of people don't get to see the behind the scenes and like how we cut up, and sometimes we like go at each other and all that kind of stuff. But it's like it's really good because it's how you hone the blade and keep it sharp and keep the ideas fresh and challenging each other, like going back and forth. Like I think it's fantastic. I mean, I think everybody is better working as a group and being hard on each other when they need to be hard on each other. You know what I'm saying? To be able to really get the best version of whatever the idea is out.
Hey, he said, just wear your surgical mask in your videos, Doc. Live the gimmick.
Oh, that would be absolutely.
That would be good.
You know what? I think that actually would be a great idea. Actually,
yeah, you could.
I'll get some goggles and stuff too. Just be all like DEFCON 4. COVID plus.
Borderlands on us, man. It's all good.
Oh yeah, oh my God.
Whatever you want to call it. So you want to know a true story? I went to PAX West this past summer. And I literally wore my real white coat with my real stethoscope, with my real hospital credentials and real scrubs and my real tennis shoes, the whole thing, running around. And people are like, "Oh, you're cosplaying a doctor." I'm like, "Yeah, that's what I'm doing." But it was awesome because it's like I was literally in my work getup, and it was just like, this is so surreal because nobody even batted an eye. They were just like, whatever, some other guy at the convention cosplaying something. So,
yeah, that's what's so great about those conventions and stuff, right? Is you can really be yourself. You can it's no shyness there really, because everybody's in their own world doing their own thing. You see everything: guys in dresses, girls in suits, people in these Godzilla costumes. I mean, it's a crazy nerd culture. It's freaking amazing.
I love it because everybody.
I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, everybody gets outfit. Yeah, it's like nobody cares, and everybody is like, whatever. It's like that's the subgenre that you're into or whatever, and it's like you can talk to anybody, and it's funny because a lot of people, like, there's a lot of personalities, like our personalities. We will go out and talk to anybody and like have no problem. But there's some people that are really introverted, or shy or cautious or whatever. But it's like if you like have that organic interaction kind of in a quote unquote safe environment, and it's like you're just kind of shooting the shit, a lot of those people really open up, and it's like all of a sudden they start sharing their interests, and you learn so much. And sometimes you're even introduced to stuff that you didn't really know all that much about, and I love it. I mean, like, for me, cons are amazing.
So many times I've had to, I can't tell you how many times I like, because you just be open, and people come up and say, hey, I love the videos, or you did. I'm like, really? I was like, cool. And then you'll find out something, or you'll see something, or somebody let you know something. It's amazing time, because like I said, life's too short to like just be ordinary. People always mess with me because I change out a car literally in 6 months or so, and people are real quick. But when I saw my collection got a new car, it's just like I thought about, like, you know what, like, if I like a new car, I'm gonna get it. Life's too short, I'm gonna get something. I'm a car guy. I am definitely 100% a car guy. And now I'm into like electric cars. I will get a new car, and my neighbor like, "What you doing?" I said, "Man, I'm just getting a new car." He'll mess with me. Say, "What you selling?" I said, "I'm selling video games." I'm playing them video games, right here on YouTube, But I'm just saying, just find something that you love and enjoy, and just keep going with it. Like, don't get so stuck into like owning video games and not getting out and not seeing the world and doing stuff, y'all. Video games gonna be there. Like, digital is gonna always be there. But find something to do. Find something to enjoy outside. You can still like video games, but find other stuff to do too. We all here because of video games, but just have fun. Well, and shout out, like, we got like total of 228 people. We got 146 people on X watching. We got 82 people on YouTube.
All the X homies.
All the X homies came in.
I love the X homies. They're my people.
That's good. You found your place there, man. That's great.
No, I love it. I absolutely love it. But to your point too, I was going to say that whole entire situation. You need to remind people that regardless of what they're into, collecting, cars, movies, games, whatever. Just be fiscally responsible, right? Like, don't do something that's going to hurt you.
Yes, please be different. Like, don't be buying.
You don't have to keep up with anybody. It is your quest in your life, what you want to do and how you want to do it.
If you got bills, pay your bills first. Then go buy
your bills.
Pay your bills, because they will come take your shit.
Max out those credit cards for these games.
Don't do that.
Not max these credit cards out for these games.
They will come take your shit, and you be like, "What happened to your card?"
Yeah.
You don't want to be a repo gamer. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. And listen, just because somebody is at a different place than you financially does not mean that you need to compete with them.
Hey, Alex, and Pink Princess, who said she was with you at PAX West.
She came to the convention. She got to meet a whole bunch of my buddies. My brother was out there. Like, we had a great time.
That's good, man. Like, you can find, and that was like finding your space, man. If you and this one goes up too, because I've been seeing a lot of discourse online with certain, content creators upset about people having their own space. Listen here, like, worry about your own stuff, and worry about your own stuff, and leave other people alone. If people are happy in their own space, leave them the F alone. Like, I don't go with the drama. I don't give that. I'm here to have fun. I'm here to I'm not here to harass nobody, especially like women or anybody who's marginalized. Leave folks alone, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. Let's get back into Xbox, because Xbox has been this wild and out, man. Like, I sent y'all that in the chat message, right? It says, is Xbox, like, is it doomed? Is it over with? And we've been talking about it on and off. And if you're in the chat, let us know. If you're listening, leave a 5-star review and let me know about Xbox, or leave a comments in the chat below if you're watching. But yeah, listen, Xbox has been having a rough 2 or 3 years. They've been like on a roller coaster, up and down. Yeah, I don't know. Alex,
did you hear what happened recently?
What
like
happened? I was about to touch you, but I was about to kick it to you. But what did you say? What happened?
So apparently, Phil Spencer took the entire Xbox division and did a town hall and said, you guys put everything out there. Let's go ahead and talk about this and let's figure out where we're going. I'm like, we're halfway through this console generation almost. And now you're doing a town hall asking the entire Xbox division, hey, what are we doing? Are you kidding me right now? So what that tells me is that internally there's a lot of strife. And one of the comments that came out of that conversation was, despite the shortcomings and the fumbles and this, that, and the other, the take-home message was that we are doubling and tripling down on gaming. Now, what does that mean and how does that translate? None of us know. And I think that Xbox's ability to communicate to its fans has been abysmal. Their messaging is mixed. There's no consistency. They don't have any kind of standard timeline. Sony, interestingly enough, has been very quiet recently too, over the last calendar year, right? But it's like when they show us something, 6 months later, that game's going to be playable on your console.
Mm-hmm.
So the messaging has been slow on both fronts, but it's like Microsoft seems like it's almost panicking. And it's like you can't.
They are
cool.
You're right. I'm sorry, but that I was looking for the word, and you just said it. Panicking. I've been searching for that. They are. They do seem like they're in a panic mode right now because they gambled so much on, I think, Game Pass and buying all these damn companies. They forgot where it brought them through the 360 generation with games.
Well, let's go back. When Don Matrick was around, they tried to force feed us TV. When Phil Spencer came and said, hey, we're going to revolutionize this thing, now they force fed us Game Pass, right? Well, now it's a financial no-go for them. I mean, think about it this way. The concurrent subscribers for Game Pass is something like somewhere between 25 and 35 million people. Spotify has 620 million people subscribed, and they can't make any money.
Is it also to the state of our economy coming out of the pandemic, right? Because coming out of the pandemic was really revolutionary.
How come Sony and Nintendo are doing fine?
I mean, they've been smart, but
Nintendo, what? They have games for sale.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's the games. At the end of the day, the consoles sell when there's games. That's always been the
you're
rule.
Right. They got games.
Every single console that's ever come out, when there's badass games that come out, that's generally when the masses come out and say, I got to get that console for this game. And then next month they got another banger coming. And then the following month they got another banger coming. But
Nintendo was doing that this year, Ness. They just released Princess Peach Showtime, which everybody really loves, right? They really, and also Ron, thanks for the $4.99 chat too. And also back at Mario, thanks for the $5 chat, $5 super chat. Thank you guys that support the channel. We can do something with that.
Yeah, thank you guys
so much. But yeah, that's right. Nintendo PlayStation has something every month until the end of the year, right? Especially Nintendo. And what's so funny about Nintendo this year is they gave you a brand new game, then they gave you a remake, then they gave you a remake, then a brand new game, then a remake. They're just keeping oh my gosh, what are they doing, y'all?
Well, and look, this is their last year of the regular Switch, and they knew they were going to go ahead and march these games out, and there is a lot of remakes. I will admit that,
but they're good. But they're good though. They're good.
But they're great remakes. Sure, fair enough. But they're calculated because guess what? And this is still my prediction, and I've said this on your podcast before. I think that the Metroid Prime 4 is probably going to be a launch title with the new Switch, possibly launch window, but I feel like it's a launch title. And they're probably going to have another ace up their sleeve in that too, because what they want to do is they want to hit the ground so hard, running so fast that when that Switch 2, because it's going to they've been in production. This is going to be one of those consoles that they are trying to prevent scalpers and everybody from buying them. I promise you, 2025 is going to be the year of the Switch 2. Nothing on this earth is going to be able to compete with it. Nothing.
Well, I mean, you don't have anything else that's going to be able to compete. I mean, they're dropping PS5 Pro this year, and the justification to buy that really isn't there. I mean, okay,
I'm still buying that bitch too. It's I ain't worried about it.
console, you're
About 3 or 4 of them.
consumer.
Like 3 or 4 of them.
Consumer needs a justification as to why we're buying it. Like you
Yeah,
tell me
that's
it's
true.
going to have a little extra storage and then the cooling and all this extra BS, but at the
Well,
end of the day,
They
where the
released
game-
a design document
That's the
today,
game.
but there's a design document that says the games are supposed to, like, you know, if it's designed for PS5 Pro, that it's supposed to have a 60 FPS mode and like a 4K upscale mode and like all this other stuff. So supposedly to be able to get that stamp on your game, you have to have the 4K 60.
Well, when you have games that are being released now and they look like they were made for PS3 and they're being released, I'm just saying, I'm like, they're still dropping
Dragon's
games that look
Dogma
like they were
2
made on
alone.
PS3.
I said that in the video yesterday, right? I said that in the video yesterday, man. Like,
Leave Dragon's Dogma 2
PS5 has not really been next gen. Let's be
It
honest.
hasn't. It really hasn't.
I'm a PlayStation guy. It's not been next gen.
And I mean, let's be honest. Like at the end of the day, I think this goes for everyone outside of Nintendo. Nintendo just they're in their own lane, but this goes for Microsoft as well. Like the developers that are creating some of these games, not all the games, because some of these games look amazing, but some of these games that they're developing, I'm like, dude, like you've had the hardware, you know the performance and capabilities that the device can do. Why are you building and designing a game that would run easily 2 generations prior hardware? Like why are we still doing this? Like, oh well, it's there's a lot more mechanics behind it, there's a lot more geometry in the game and the trees and the environment and all. I'm like, but aesthetically, if it's not appeasing to the consumer that's buying it, to the gamer that's playing the game, if I played a game that was on 360 and this is the sequel or the third installment of the game and the one on 360 looked better than the one that's on Series X, there is an issue with that. What are we doing? We should be progressing the visual output. Why am I buying a 4K TV now? For what reason? Because I can put all the settings on the TV right now, but it still looks like crap. Why am I doing this? What was my purpose here?
Because they know we're gonna buy that shit. They know.
That's why you need a 4090 or the new 5000 series that's coming out. Go PC all the way and just murk everybody when it comes to that stuff. Because
they ain't gonna do that though.
No, but I mean, if it's a multi-platform game, you're stupid not to play it on PC.
I mean, like
They're creating all the games.
I think the Steam. Oh, go ahead, Nez. I'm sorry. What's your name?
No, go ahead. That's all I was saying.
Oh, I'll say I think the Steam Deck has opened up the mindset to many gamers to go on PC because it did for me. It did for me. I've never been a PC gamer, but when I got a Steam Deck, I was like, God damn! It's like I can do this.
When you look at the millions of games basically available on PC, and the funny thing is, it's like if you make a PC that is user friendly, you'll get more people adopting it. Honestly, I feel like there's a two-pronged thing that's happening here. We are having a renaissance developing around PC gaming because of these handhelds, like you just said. And I also think that mobile gaming is definitely advancing because now we have mobile compute power that is equivalent to some of the consoles that we have running around. And it's only a matter of time before we have iPhone, like a gaming-based iPhone, or all the Android phones that are out there with the multi-core, multi-threaded processors, their own dedicated GPUs, the whole nine. And actually on the Android front, there are some amazing phones, that are out there, like the ROG Ally phone. And I don't remember exactly what it's called, but the Republica Gamer phone. And then there's also like the Red phone. There's a couple others that are out there. And I mean, they're awesome.
The ones, the OnePlus, all these phones are doing. The new iPhone 15 Pro can play a full Resident Evil 4. What else they got on it? Death Stranding. All of those games on there and stuff. Like,
do you want to play games on that kind of form factor? Like, I get it for some people that just.
If I'm on a plane and I ain't really got some, I'm serious. Like, okay, I've been debating about buying an iPad Pro, but I'm like, what if I got a laptop and an iPhone Max? Do I really? What I'm going to do on an iPad, right?
Once I got the Mac, I was done. Like my Pro, I was using it all the time. But then when I got to upgrade the computer, I was like, I don't really need this anymore.
Did you sell it? Or you still got it?
No, I gave it to the wife. She took it. So she was like, "Oh, I'll take it." I'm like, "I bet you will. Go ahead. Here you go."
Yeah. Women take anything you give them. They like, I'll take this.
She's like, "You're not selling that. Give me that. I'll give the other one. I'll pass it down. I'll just."
Oh, hey, what are you talking about the Windows Phone, man? I remember having the Windows Phone. I think.
Oh man, I love the Windows Phone.
I think Alex. You remember me having that Windows Phone when it was in Conway? You don't remember I had that, did you?
It was a slide up joint, right?
No, it wasn't a slide. It was the one that had the nice tiles. They took the Windows Phone. They took the font from Xbox.
I do remember it, and it was so
good. Windows Phone was good.
It was based off of Nokia had built it, you know.
But it was based off the Zoom too.
But it was the Windows Mobile, and that was actually, it's interesting that you brought that up, because Phil Spencer in one of the interviews recently, I don't know if it was from GDC or whatever, but he was talking about how like the mobile gaming environment, like the operating system and stuff like that for Windows, is not where it needs to be. And I think across the board, all of us agree. It's clunky, it's chunky, it's inefficient. And if they could get that part squared down, then, and maybe that's what this whole entire conversation behind the scenes is with Valve, right? And the whole entire Steam, because the Steam OS, again, not perfect, but it's better than, the Windows Mobile OS. Maybe that's what they're partnering on. Maybe it's that kind of stuff.
It'd be good. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing a Windows Phone back. I think they gave up on the Windows Phone platform. I actually really do like Zoom. I absolutely think the Zoom was nice. I had the coffee brown Zoom. That thing was.
I had a Gear Zoom.
You had a Gear Zoom?
Mm-hmm. I still have it.
Oh shit! I bet it's. I like to see that. I'm gonna look on eBay for that one. But it was nice. Zoom was so nice. And it was just aesthetically pleasing. The font, the way it just rolled in the UI. Oh my goodness! And then they took that Zoom technology over to the Xbox One. If you look at the Zoom UI. The Zoom UI is now the font and all that kind of stuff is what you see on the Xbox One.
I mean, a lot of the framework for a lot of their other devices that are no longer around, or the framework within Xbox. A lot of that's built in the Xbox now. So even, camera features from the Kinect and back in the day, even though that I will say this, the Windows Phone,
they look nice. It gives it one Zoom. I think about me one.
Yeah. That Windows camera was horrible, though. I will say that.
The Windows what?
Well, camera technology has advanced so much on these phones.
This was many, many years. This is over a decade now at this point, but they're just.
Yeah, but did any of you guys get the Duo, whatever thing, the dual screen, like phone, Android, like computer thing that Microsoft released? You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I never got one of those.
It's like, Samsung did the folding phones, and this was like a dual screen, so it was basically solving the same problem in a slightly different way. And it wasn't bad hardware, but again, it didn't sell.
Yeah. I don't know. At this point, I don't know.
What?
I'm just disappointed overall.
I'm just thinking about it, like all the technology that we've seen come out of Microsoft over, the last decade, and seeing how the Xbox has transformed, or even the PlayStation for that matter as well. But have we gotten to a point where, for us to be wowed in gaming, do we need I think the next level of gaming, the way I think of it, is for me to be wowed playing a game, the next level would be like Ready Player One, some crazy nonsense like that, to be completely immersive. I know VR is kind of, but I'm like, no, I'm just talking about completely in it and just immersed in it. But I don't think we're there yet. I'm sure they're working on it.
Be in the nursing home by the time that hits.
Yeah. Now, I'll be in the nursing home. That doesn't mean I'm going to stop playing video games.
No. That's actually awesome, being in the nursing home playing video games.
Can you
imagine like LAN parties and stuff in the nursing home? It's going to be lit.
it would be.
Hey, you touch me like.
Nah, bro, we'll have a neural link. We'll have a neural link and just be able to play the games with their minds.
Oh my goodness! Hey, I'm just getting wild out there, y'all. So let's transition real quick. What have y'all been playing this week? You know, I know me. I'm still on Spider-Man 2. I've been on WWE. I'm still on Spider-Man 2 and WWE 2K 25 or 24. So I'm still playing both of them. I told you, man, I've been, as much as I've been traveling and I've been traveling, been making videos and stuff like that, I haven't been playing much. But I said that yesterday, I played like 5-6 hours playing Spider-Man 2. Still, that's why I was like, this ain't no next gen. This is still like PS4 Pro graphics and stuff. But you know,
Nice.
what about you? What about you playing?
Well, yes, like Zach, I've been delivering democracy where I can.
Yep. Helldivers 2, baby.
Helldivers 2. Deliver democracy. Yes, that game is amazing. So I've been playing that, and then
What's so good about Helldivers 2? Because I'm not a big online game player. So tell me, what am I missing with Helldivers 2? Because I called you a couple times. You was on it.
It's 4-player co-op.
Yeah, you on it.
Man, I don't know.
Co-op against, player versus environment. It's
yeah, that's really all it is.
What
It's
now
not
plays
like
with-
the longest mission is 40 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's very pick up and play. Very pick up and play friendly.
It gives you 40 minutes to complete it.
Right.
Right,
Do it faster.
you can get it done in under that time frame. But it's a solid game. Have you seen the movie Starship Troopers?
Yeah.
Think of it like
Okay.
that. It's a mix of Starship Troopers and what's another game I could think of?
Ooh, Rise of the Ronin. I'm looking at the comments right now.
Yeah, Rise of the Ronin's another one that
Unicorn Overlord, which I heard
I
is an
heard Rise of the
amazing
Ronin was
game.
pretty good. It was like a Japanese
Final Fantasy Rebirth.
It was a Japanese version of Assassin's Creed, I heard.
Yeah,
Rise of the Ronin
unfortunately, the graphics
got
weren't
dinged.
very good.
Yeah.
Visually it did not look very good, but I'll still play it.
I canceled my pre-orders for those, but they didn't
Oh,
have
what?
any like Rise of the Ronin and Dragon's Dogma 2. I canceled my pre-orders, and then when I play Dragon's Dogma 2, it's going to be PC 100. I'm not trying to.
I heard
mess around
PS5
with-
had some issues.
Well, Xbox, all of them have issues technically. It's just that like PC, even PC with the 4090, with a contemporary CPU, like you could have 120 frames a second. As soon as you walk into a city, it'll drop you down to like 70. Now, that granted, your base is above 60, but it's still weird when you go from such a high frame rate to a low frame rate, and it's even worse on consoles.
That's crazy. So
Well,
what
it wasn't
what
optimized,
happened? They
And
just brought it out-
Capcom admitted it. Capcom admitted that they didn't optimize the game, that they were trying to get it out before the end of the fiscal year. So they wanted to get it out before the end of March.
So they rushed it.
Correct.
That's not well. You know
Well,
what?
that's industry practice, right? Rush a game and then patch it for a year.
Well, you know what? Respect to Capcom because Capcom is so respected, and I love Capcom. Capcom great. I love Capcom. I'm so happy they did that because most companies won't be transparent like that. They'll just wait till that's good. That's real good.
No, Capcom is an OG. You know what? They have more hits than they have misses.
They do.
And the fact that they redid all these Resident Evils and they're absolutely breathtaking games. Look beautiful, play so well, and it's just like, they got big games, they got little games, they got in between games. You know what I'm saying? Like they're really good about like their release cadence as well.
They have
honestly.
Capcom
That new Monster Hunter game, oh my god! When that hits, I put thousands of hours in Monster Hunter World. So when this new game hits, y'all aren't going to see me play anything but Monster Hunter.
I gave it the old college try. I gave it like a month of play, and I just couldn't get into Monster Hunter. It just wasn't my jam.
Playing with people, or are you playing by yourself?
Yeah, we had it was like 3 or 4 people playing. I was playing with.
Oh, well, yeah. It's not for everybody.
I mean, it was cool for the time, but I just got super bored with the game. So, but I can definitely see why there's a huge following of folks that like that game, though, for sure.
Well, I mean, and everybody's not going to like every game, right? Like, I mean, and that's reasonable. I always hate it when somebody says, "I can't believe you don't like that game. What kind of a gamer are you?" And it's like, wait, what? You mean I can't have a difference of opinion? You know exactly.
You had so much like disdain in that. You had so much disdain, and I was checking myself. It was like I feel like.
But tell me I'm wrong, right? Like, how many times have you met somebody who's like, "Oh, you don't like that game," oh, and you're just like, "Wait, what?" It's like I just have a different opinion than you. It's okay.
Yeah,
it's like some people don't like cheeseburgers, some people don't like egg rolls. I mean, like, calm down.
Every single time I get introduced to, like, one of my wife's, one of her friends, like, oh yeah, my boyfriend, he's a gamer too. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like, and then we start the conversation. It's like, oh man, I heard you're a gamer, man. I'm like, yeah, yo, like, what do you play? Oh, 2K.
Man, I know. Ooh, that burns me up. That burns me up.
What else you play? Oh, 2K. Man.
And I'm gonna say, because Nessa's stepping around it, but in our community, black folks, every time they see another black player outside of what we really do, like, oh yeah, man, oh dog, you got games, 2K, I like, dude, just because I'm black, I always play 2K. All right?
Where's your diversity? Where's your game diversity?
I know black people. Black people, we love some 2K or some Call of Duty, but this black man don't always play this. A little diversity of games, all right. This is like another kind of game. I like collecting. That's why I was so kind of weird. Like, I never saw a black guy like me collecting before. Like, our person I kind of really knew in Arkansas was Alex, and Alex ain't black. You saw him, but he ain't black, though.
No, but we had a little. I mean, again, we had our own little group of weirdos together, right? Like, we were all the gamers, and everybody had their own thing. But it's like we all played multiple genres. None of us was just like, I only play, sports games, or I only play fighting games. Like, we all played everything, and that's what brought us together. So our common bond was the fact that we played on all systems, and we played all genre, or most genres. I mean, I'm not the biggest sports game guy, but if somebody says, hey, here's a controller, we're playing some FIFA or whatever, it's like, okay, I'm down, let's do it, but it's like, I don't go out and like want to necessarily have that experience and like try to, build my roster and like, do a season of, I don't do that. It's like, no.
Yeah.
It's in Madden.
Madden, yep. Cool. Yeah, but Madden fell off, bro, like in a bad way.
Well, I mean, to be honest, at this point,
I like this Madden. This is the Madden I used to love on. These Maddens back in the day,
the OG.
The 2Ks, all those games. I mean, at this point, there's the changes in those games outside of rosters is just really minuscule. I mean, you may have some slight changes to face features and all that stuff every year, but I mean, you could just drop a DLC at this point, if you ask me. But that's just me, though.
No, yeah, like it's they're not going to ever do that, because they make too much money.
I mean, it's too much money, man. I'm gonna drop $70 $20 in 6 months.
Well, you know what? Hey, let's talk about DLC, because I'm wearing a shirt. The new Elden Ring DLC. Are y'all excited about that?
Yeah, that's going to be awesome.
What's wrong with that?
I pre-ordered the collector's edition on that.
Elden Ring was probably one of the most frustrating games that I played in a long time. I'm talking about where I wanted to move some furniture. I wanted to break some stuff. The game frustrated the hell out of me. Because I mean, like, I'm generally pretty patient. When I'm dying, I'm like, okay, I gotta learn the patterns and all this thing. There's always a pattern when you're fighting a boss. Mm-hmm. Elden Ring, it doesn't follow that same style of logic with patterns. Like, just when you think that you have it down pat, I'm like, okay, cool. All right, I haven't died for the last 30 seconds. I think I got it. We good. And then the boss pulls out some crazy move that you've never seen before. And I'm like, bro, you didn't do that the last 20 times I died. Why do you want to do it on the 21st?
You hadn't advanced far enough.
Oh my God, bro. It just, but you know what Elden Ring did for me though? It took me back, because all of the games that we used to play growing up, they weren't giving us a free pass to win. You had to legitimately get good. You had to get good, kid. Get good. You had to get good at the game.
You had to get good at that game, boy.
You had to get good.
Oh man.
So
Well,
it took me back. Did I complete the game? No, because I was too damn frustrated. So
yeah,
That's why I
because
stayed away from the ring. I'm not going
made
there.
it pretty far. But when I went, I took like 2 or 3 months off of the game and came back to my save point. And I was like, I don't even know what to do anymore. I was like, no, I'm done.
Yeah, but I mean, think about it. That like back in the day when we were first of all, the number of games that we could buy was fairly limited, right? Like we rented some games to supplement, and then it was like, hey, what game does your friend have? What game do you have? So when you got a game, you paid a lot of attention to it, and you really tried to work your way to get that ending because everybody wanted to know what the ending was like, and then you had to be good enough. You had to be good enough so when your friend came over to your house, you could show them that ending before they went home to their own house.
Yep. Hey, do you remember this? I used to do this back in the day. I used to like feed my Nintendo through my VCR, and I record like the ending when I beat the games. So like, this is the this is the thing we did. You never did this.
No,
dude, this one. Okay, so like on Nintendo, I figured out a way where you can like have a pass through where you had a Nintendo hooked up to the VCR, so you turn the Nintendo on and then you put a tape in and record everything you do on a Nintendo, right? You didn't do this?
Yeah, that's how we got our game clips back in the day.
That's how you get your game played, right? You still can do that to this day. But anyway, so basically, I had that, and then when we take the tapes, we take the tapes out and beating the games, but take it to the school like, hey, I beat this. Just follow this, you can get it. And then we'll trade stuff that way. That's how we learn how to beat games and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. We'll take VCR tapes and trade VCR tapes on the schoolyard and stuff like that. And we'll write it right here. And in a little white space, like level 1, 2, 3, like that. They'll do all that. And you make sure you put it on LP so you can get like 6 hours.
Oh, yeah. And the video quality was like 240p. It was like horrible.
Oh, it's
right?
trash.
Yeah, like it was like really bad. But hey, do you guys remember? Hold on, you remember that program they used to have? It was called Channel One.
I wanted proof.
No, listen, y'all remember that wasn't like Channel One. And first period, every day they would have like this little TV that they donated from this program, and it would play like this little news commentary of like the highlights of the news for kids, basically. And that's where Homeboy on CNN came from. Oh God. Can't remember his name, the white blonde hair guy. His name will come back to me anyway. But we used to take those TVs and we would sneak in a Super Nintendo or like a Genesis and hook it up to the back of the TV. And so we would hang out after school, playing at school until whoever's mom was gonna come pick us up and take us back out to our houses or whatnot.
Wow.
So, dude, we used to play Street Fighter like that. I mean, that was tense. We really had some rivalries going on.
Kathy Kornberger, I don't know who that is, but no, we did that same thing too, Alex. We did like somebody was like, all right, who bringing the Super Nintendo? Who bringing Nintendo? Who bringing the Genesis? Everybody and then we'll be all in the back and stuff. And sometimes we'll have like the teachers we had a cool teacher like, I want to see these games because he was a gamer too. So we'll sit there and class get out a little early and before everybody come pick up and be like, yeah, we sit there for like an hour just playing stuff and like, oh, your mama here? She's right in the middle. You got to hand the controller off and stuff like, all right. And then, or you didn't get a chance to put your system out. Like, I want to put my system out this year because I'm gonna give it to him.
I remember that's when I discovered black electrical tape. Be able to hide the LED that showed that the system was on.
No, my dad used to come in and touch the top of Nintendo. Y'all been playing, huh? And touch the top of the Nintendo, and it's warm, and like, oh shit, we got in trouble.
Yep.
I never had to go through any of that. So
that was a good stuff, man.
Like I remember when the Xbox, PlayStation 2, and GameCube were out, and I owned all 3 of the systems and had like a switch that you could plug all 3 of them in, and it was like a old school cable box. You would just click in which one you wanted to play because it only had one input into the back of the TV. And man, those were the days right there, bro. Like,
bro, you telling me, man, that was the best time for gaming for me. Like that like my mind just got completely opened during that time. Yeah. The PlayStation 2 and Xbox, OG Xbox era. I mean, don't get me wrong. Super Nintendo was amazing. That was a really, really amazing time. But this like PlayStation 2 and OG Xbox. I had so many friends that we were all fighting game guys, all of us. But then we had another guy come into our group, and he was all about RPGs. So it was Final Fantasy, it was Chrono Trigger, Chrono Cross. It was just all these other RPGs, and then I got introduced to Metal Gear Solid because I had never played a Metal Gear Solid.
Dude.
And, oh man, when he got the demo for Sons of Liberty, and we played that tanker mission, I was blown away. Blown away.
I used to sit there and just let the rain hit the ship and hit you,
Bruh.
and just look at that, and the sound effects from the rain hitting the ship, and I was like, "Oh my god!" It was just like, and then you'll run like under a covering, and you won't get back out, and then you run back out. It was like that was so good. And another thing that kind of sparked me when you're saying that, the smell of the games when you open them, you know, like I know you used to do the talk about the smell of Neo Geo games, but like each game had a different smell. Like PlayStation had a smell, 64 had a smell. Like any renting games from like Super Nintendo and stuff had a smell, or NES, it just had that smell. Yeah. You were like, oh my goodness, it's like, and when it gets warm, it has that like, I don't know, it's like that. I ain't say new car smell or nothing, but it's like that new game smell.
It does have that. It did have that. It was
like a very unique. Like I remember playing Yo Know It. You remember Yo Know It on that was a great platformer, right? For a pizza for Domino's Pizza. I mean, it went beyond that, but I really thought in my mind that when they got hot, it smelled like pizza. I could be wrong, but that's what I thought. I really thought
man had a pizza scented video games over here.
Man, but like Yo Know It. I remember like Chippendale's Rescue. Right, all the Capcom games.
Oh my god, they were so good.
Yeah. Like
DuckTales. Oh my god,
Rescue Rangers.
Finding Nemo. Not Finding Nemo. No, Little Nemo the Dream Master.
Little Nemo the Dream Master. Yeah, bro. Oh my. Kid Nicky. Remember Kid Nicky?
Yep. I actually beat that game, bro. That was one of the hardest games I ever beat on the NES. And it took me years of playing it before I finally got it. And it was funny because there's like this one place where you have to like jump through this cave. And it's like my brother still gives me a hard time because it's like I made the jump and it's like I slipped, right? Yeah. And it's like, you know, the games back then weren't programmed for you to slip and shit. It's just, I don't know if it glitched or what the deal was. But I was like, no, I slipped. And it's like, my brother's like, bro, it's like, they didn't program this game for you to, you know, I was like,
Akari Warriors, I thought it smelled like desert, like in the desert.
Man, you know what? I didn't, like, now that you say that, because I only associate game smells with Neo Geo just because they just have a very distinct smell. And they all smell pretty much the same. Mm-hmm. But, like, now that you talk about it, Super Nintendo, the original NES, PlayStation, they all had a smell.
Yeah.
It's kind of like if you were to come across a fresh in box, never been opened, and you were to crack the plastic on a PlayStation 2 or a Dreamcast or whatever, and you smell that, do you get that nostalgia memory still back when wherever you were in life, you know, a couple of decades ago? Does it just boom spark it right back again?
Yes, absolutely it does.
What I thought about it, listen, I associate and tattoo, it was right, we need SOCOM back.
Oh my god, yes, SOCOM 2.
I'm serious. I associate my love of Domino's Pizza all going all the way back to Yo Know It, playing that game, because I saw the commercial. I'm like, what is this? And I just saw it like passing. I was like, then I went to a rental store. We had a rental store in our city. Everybody had that crazy rental store that had everything, and they had Yo Know It just came in. I'm like, I saw that. So I picked it up, went home and played it, and I saw all the Domino's branding. I said, wait a minute. And then like a couple weeks later, my mom and them brought some Domino's pizza, and they was doing that. Like, oh wow.
That's it. That's
it got me right there to this day. And to this day, I think about Yo Know It. I mean, a lot of people won't know what that is, so they Google it. But you was around that time, Yo Know It and dominoes like this. Like, okay, people made this the spot game, 7-Up game.
Yeah.
Those games were great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they don't make good sponsor logo games no more. Where are those games at? Because like back,
you remember what
was on 360.
King?
Who?
The Burger King game?
Yeah, the Burger King one.
That was good. That was great. That was funny. But everybody knew those were joke games, but they still were great. But like back in the day, those games like Spot, just all like the Domino's game. It was another one. I would
What
say
about the TMNT controller that smells like pizza?
I heard that was crazy. I ain't got one. Queen, she got one. I need to get one of those. You got one, Alex?
No.
Oh, no. No, Alex, I'll go buy it off eBay. And go on buy it.
No. I looked at it and I was just like, okay. The problem is that if you try to be an Xbox controller collector, there's hundreds of them, and some of them are really hard to come by. I've got a couple of them. Like I've got the Sea of Thieves. I got 2 of those sealed. Cool. I've got a few of the high-end ones.
Yeah, them Halo 3 was nice.
I wish I still had them.
But you know what? They still affordable. I mean, now if they're in packages,
some of them are, yeah.
They're in packages.
The 360 ones, I had all of them at one point. But I was using them. I was actually playing back then.
I knew my controllers. Yeah,
I was going through controllers, man.
I still need a Hogwarts Legacy, but somebody won't trade.
You say what now?
I need a Hogwarts Legacy controller for the PS5, but somebody got like 8 of them and won't trade.
Oh, yeah, I don't know nothing about that.
I got a Japanese one, and I've got 3 American ones. No, wait. I got Japanese, a European, and like 2 or 3 of the American ones. 2 of the American ones, I think. Those
PS5 controllers, though. I mean, I thought, you know what? Look at the Spider-Man 2 one now. That thing, it was like it's $70 now. So I think it's a lot now. I don't know how much it is. Let me check and see.
I got a couple of those. Really? And then I actually have the Spider-Man 2 console, which is like the last of the.
Yeah, that's my main controller I play with right now. Okay, so inbox is probably like $160. Damn, it went up.
Man,
it's not going anywhere.
They should get 2 of those, but it's not the best looking controller, but I got every special edition controller, not like the different color, but special edition PS5 controllers. I just don't have I don't have the Hogwarts. I need to find that one for a good price.
Man, that was a great game.
You like it?
Yeah,
I love Hogwarts Legacy.
Bro, last year was the highest selling game of the year, and it got snubbed left and right.
It got snubbed faux show. I was so upset about that because that was a fantastic game.
People were in their feelings.
Yeah, unfortunate.
It was an excellent game. A lot of people put a lot of energy and effort into it. They had good representation in the game, like across the board.
It was really good.
I mean, I thought it was
awesome.
None of it felt forced. All of it felt good, and it was just like excellent. Like still one of the best games, I think. They should have at least been nominated for like a few more categories.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think if you're a Harry Potter fan, if you've read the books or seen the movies and you enjoy that storyline, this game definitely immersed you. Because I knew people that they don't play video games at all, but they bought like PS5 specifically for that game.
Seller. Yes,
it was a system seller for sure. And I had people blowing me up like, "Oh my god, this game's so good! I'm so glad you told me about it." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm playing it too. I'm like 60 hours into the game right now." It was a good one for sure.
So what else y'all been playing, Alex? What have you been playing, man?
I'll be honest, it's like, I've been kind of MIA for the last little bit, and a lot of that I've just been busy. I like Helldivers because I can pick up and play like for 20 minutes and pop right back out. So I do like that, but I haven't really had a chance to play much else. I mean, and I've got this impossible backlog. Like I thought about making a series where I try to attack my backlog, and it's just too much. I don't have enough like realistic time to put it all in there. And so sometimes I'll just say screw it, and it's like I have an hour. Okay, well, we're playing Vampire Survivors. I mean, I'm doing something just kind of mindless, fun little thing, and then kind of get back into it. So it's like when I finally get a stretch of downtime, then I want to kind of like be real picky and choosy about what I play. I'm playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth like right now.
Yeah, I need to get in there. I need to get in there.
But it's like it's like 100+ hour game. So I'm just sitting there going,
yeah,
okay, wow.
That's kind of where I'm at. Like, I want to play games that don't invest so much time, just because I want to be able to get through a portion of that. Like I beat Crossed Swords on Neo Geo last week, which was actually pretty good.
How long did it take you to beat Crossed Swords? Like an hour?
It was about an hour and 10 minutes. Okay. It was actually longer than I thought it was.
When Hellblade 2 drops, like to me, that's going to be like a 6 to 10 hour game probably, which is perfect because it'll have hopefully high production quality, fun game, with amazing graphics and all that stuff and good gameplay. But I'm not going to have to put in like 55 hours to be able to get to the end.
Yeah. I think. Well, I have it all covered up at this point, but I'd probably say the next big game that I probably want to play is going to be on PS5. I'm just trying to figure out what game that's going to be because I picked up a lot of games. Wanted Dead, I picked up the collector's edition for that. I'm thinking about playing that one.
You bought the collector's edition for that? Well, I sent you that.
The Wanted Dead one? I bought it on PS4.
Oh no, okay, that's the other Dead. My bad. Never mind.
Which one are you thinking about?
The PS5 game that was we was talking about the PS5 stuff we were talking about. We don't talk about it right now, but the PS5 games that we've been looking for.
Yeah. There's a couple of those I'm gonna play.
Okay,
a couple of those I'm gonna play because I gotta. Helldivers is just a non-stop game. It's never gonna be beat, so I'm not gonna get through a backlog. I gotta stop putting myself into open world games. That's what I keep. My attention keeps getting drawn to those types of games.
Yeah, it's just so easy to get into it, and it's it just pulled. Because I'll be honest, for a game that's a games as a service PvE game, it is highly cinematic. Like when you do certain like setups with your like stratagems and like your railgun or your like rocket launcher or whatever, and I mean you can really make stuff look amazing, especially if you got a squad of 3 other people who know what they're doing.
My goodness!
Oh, so good, so good.
It's like like just when you're dropping down into the planet, I feel like I'm in one of those cinematic movie trailers where it's just like
100%.
5 warriors go down into the planet thinking that they're going to destroy all the bugs. They're all it's like, oh my god, we're about to go and attack. It's so crazy, but
No, and the funny thing is, it's like you're just a regular soldier. You're not like some super soldier, Spartan Mark, 16, blah blah blah, with cybernetics and genetic enhancements and all this bullcrap. It's like you're just some dude. It's like, I want to go kill bugs because I want to spread democracy. And like people get murked all the time, and it's funny and it's hilarious.
So what would you say? This goes for everybody in the chat. So if you haven't, for a game that you haven't played yet, and that can be new or backlog, what is the one game that's on the top of your to-do list in terms of playing? That one game that you're just, this is the next one I have to play. Which one is that? What would you say?
I have to go back to Baldur's Gate 3.
Man, I was playing that for a minute.
Replay, it's like so much replay because depending on the character class and race that you play and what you do in the world, different paths open up to you. So it's kind of like a really like, oh my god, what am I doing here?
Yeah,
I need to get that new RoboCop. I haven't played that I heard that RoboCop game. I need to get that.
I heard it was pretty good. I heard it was really good.
I heard it was really good. It was like non-stop violence and craziness. I need to get that.
$9.99.
The Witcher 3, you can't go wrong with that game. Really good
game. Sale.
Hey, Princess Peach Showtime is actually a pretty decent game. It's a good game. It's okay. I mean, I know you're not a Switch person. We're not doing a lot of Switch stuff in this, but it's good. I think your daughter would enjoy it. I really think she would. You don't think she would? She's not a girl.
Well, I mean, she's a girly girl, but not with games.
Oh, okay. She won't play the board game.
She's, so she's very particular about her games. It's either Fortnite or it's Genshin Impact, Minecraft, or Roblox. Those are the four.
Hey, and Gamestop need to blame them if they trying to blame digital stuff. Blame them because all kids playing it. That's like when we grew up. We played
right there.
We were playing with Halo and 007. Like that was like the 007. This is their 007. Fortnite. That's their 007 right now.
So,
that's why I look at it.
For me, it was if I was bouncing between systems. So if we're talking about OG Xbox, it was Halo 2.
Oh, Halo 2 is so good.
And then so I had a crew. I had a group of gamers that I played with on the OG Xbox, and that was all Halo 2. So that's all we ever played. Okay. And then on PlayStation 2, we were playing SOCOM 2. So I had my PlayStation crew, we played SOCOM 2. That's all we played.
Was y'all locked in?
Had the headset.
Bro, I was locked in. The boy was locked in.
At the time, if it wasn't SOCOM 2, it was Tiger Woods PGA Tour. Those were the two games we were playing.
But I was locked in. Hey, when the headset, when you first got the headset and it actually started working, you was like, oh. You was like, hold on. You was like, hold on. He was like this, like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh.
Bomb planted.
I was like, oh my God. It was so not many games use the headset. That and another one, another space game I forgot, but oh my goodness, dude. Man, that was I thought it can't get no better than this, and then it got better. It got better, man. It got better. But just
I got a question.
The first time, was so good. Like the sports talk football games on Sega Genesis. When you first heard that, you were like, "Oh, how are we in the future?"
We live in the Jetsons.
Yeah, I know, right?
But so let me ask you guys a question. There's a new Contra game. I don't know if it's out yet, but there's a new Contra game coming. Is it out yet? You guys know?
I think it's digitally.
Is it good? Does anybody know anything about it?
He said it's really good. He said it's really good. He was like, I was asking about. He said it's like kind of brings back like the original, like a remake of the OG. I haven't played it before. But he said it's pretty good. He said, yeah, I'll buy it. He said, he bought it. I think he got a code or something, but because he played on his stream, and he said he's really enjoying it. He was playing that and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I'm sorry. Oh, and before we close out, hey y'all, make sure y'all get the GameStop too. This is going to end on Sunday. They got $10 tees. Go get your t-shirts. Go to every GameStop because every t-shirt is $10. They got some good ones. They got some good. Oh yeah. Go on the morning.
T-shirt swaggery.
Yeah, they got all the t-shirts.
So I wear a lot of like gamer t-shirts and stuff like that under my scrubs because I prefer them to just a plain t-shirt. Mm-hmm. And that like the last time they did that big sale, I probably went and bought like 20 or 30 t-shirts and just was like, okay, this is what I'm wearing.
They got them too. They got some good, and certain GameStops have the better shirts. I saw this powdered blue Final Fantasy Rebirth shirt, and they had all the characters on it. I said, God damn, this shirt was dope. It was just like block characters like that, but the blue one, it was so darn pretty. I was like, I didn't buy it. I was like, ooh, I need to go back and try to find it tomorrow because it was $10. And then the sale ends tomorrow, so the sales on GameStop go from Sunday to Saturday. So if you don't,
you need to get GameStop.
This is like sponsored by GameStop.
Oh yeah. Damn, we're on the GameStop store.
GameStop, no.
I was screwed, man. Now I ain't owned by. I wish I don't need to own the store, Zach. But hey, I absolutely enjoy them jokers, man. But sometimes they do some stupid stuff. Hey, I found some great. Y'all seen the video? I found some good stuff today. Like, I found spiked volleyball today for $9.99. And if you don't know, spiked volleyball on the PS4 is a $40 game now for some reason.
I don't know why I was thinking of the other.
Oh,
yeah, we're good.
Yeah, Zach said, "Damn, stop talking about some Gamestop. I want to see them die."
Oh man, we can't let GameStop die. It's one of the old OG homies. He a little lumpy and he ain't right all the way, but he's still one of the homies.
Pay for promotion. Hey, you know what they do? They need to. They be watching that. They do be watching. I wish they would.
Somebody gotta be watching at this point.
They watching. I'm not because I don't put out terrible content about it.
What would be even better is if they pulled us all into a room and they said, "Okay, we're going to talk to you guys seriously about how to fix GameStop," and I promise you, we would drop knowledge on these shit out of them.
Alex would be like, "All right, Alex, when we gonna talk?" I'm still talking only 2 hours later.
Pie charts and the graphs and everything. We're gonna be going over metrics here in a minute.
5 hours later.
I know Alex still talking. Alex still talking and going off. That'd be funny. It's all get out. Oh my goodness! But y'all, we hit the 2 hour mark. We about to land the plane. Thank y'all, man. X give it to us. We had 235 people from X. We got 87. This night beat out all the 20 people. So we want to thank everybody for watching, man. It's been fun. We've been talking about this. We've been Xbox and GameStop. What is the future, y'all? We do not even know. But what we do know is where to find our folks at. And like my boy Neo Ness with the S curl. Don't tell me where you got the S curl from, but tell them where you're gonna be at, man.
You can find your boy on YouTube at Neo Ness, also on Instagram _Neo_Ness. Collect and play the way that you want to collect and play your games. See y'all next time.
And the good doctor, he had no surgery. Now he gave good time. I knew he wanted to talk about the Xbox stuff, y'all, because dude was ready.
Yeah, Alex, if you guys want to come and hang out with me, come over to the Twitter universe and join the Crumb side of gaming. You can find me at Alexander Tyler. We cut it up, we chop it up, we talk about a little bit of everything, and of course, follow back over on Mr. Rightway's channel, and you'll see us on this podcast.
Yeah, man. Thank y'all. Y'all know to find your boy. It's been a good week. It's been a great day. Day has been good, y'all. I got a good video coming out. We got some good videos for the next couple weeks. Don't forget Midwest Gaming Classic, April 5th and 7th. Your boy will be in the building walking around. And then April 20th, your boy, and then Neo Ness and the other Fruity Pebble will be at Como-Con in Columbus. I know you're probably watching. He'll be there with his little meat grips and stuff, whatever, thick meat, whatever he's trying to do. I don't know. Y'all stay away from that. He wash your hands when y'all meet him, but I know. We'll be doing a live podcast then, and also too, the new name for the podcast will be unveiled that day. So we are transitioning to a brand new name on the podcast, and it's gonna be so good. Y'all gonna like it. But we will be back in 2 weeks because next week will be Midwest Gaming Classic. So we'll be back in 2 weeks. Y'all stay hungry, stay fresh, stay happy, drink your water, pay your bills, and always do it the right way.